Hey, so I've been asked to showcase, I don't know what you call it, bug feature or fix, with Firestorm. As you can see, Firestorm says maximum 3 firestorms, and the way that this behavior used to work is you cast 3, and that's your limit. But you would always get the meatball hit. I'm using Stygian because it's just a little bit easier to see what I'm showcasing. It's not a bug with Stygian. I've tested that. I can replicate the behavior without it. It's just a little bit easier to see because we have the after effect of the skull. And the skull actually shows the behavior going on. So if you look, the problem is that if you stick Unleash on it, or Awakened Unleash for that matter, or you get more than 2 seals, excuse me. You want the full spells repeats, right? And before this patch, the skill would repeat completely. You can go look at people playing Firestorm in the other patch, and you can see the actual, the true number of hits. Now that was a really good example of what the aberrant behavior is. If you can see it, I'm not sure that it will do a good example without showing it. So first off, I'll show you with Spell Cascade, because Spell Cascade quite clearly shows 3 hits. Excuse me. Right? You got your 3 hits. If you put Spell Cascade with... Now, if we go to Awaken Spell Cascade, if you go to Awaken Spell Cascade, you should have 5 hits. But if you look, the meatballs are spawning. The one centered around where I am and the one centered just below where my stash is. Those meatballs are being spawned in, but they're not landing, right? You see how we're only getting 3 hits? This is aberrant behavior that has been changed as of this patch. I've played Firestorm before, and I've tested it, and you could talk to other people who've played it. This is this patch. Since the addition of Vol Firestorm, which my guess is what is causing the, like I said, either bug or feature or fix. Now, it's entirely possible that GGG fixed this aberrant behavior that was actually spawning more than 3. So you can see if you link Spell Cascade and Unleash, we should be casting like 4 versions of 3 each, and you can see all the extra meatballs falling from the sky, but we're still only getting 3 hits. It's very easy to showcase this if we believe. It's very easy to showcase that these are not just being despawned visually. So first off, so this doesn't get confused. Dynamic culling is off, so they're not being culled by dynamic culling. Just to make sure that I'm sure that somebody will be like, hey, do you have dynamic culling on? Because it could be fixing that. So if we put Spell Cascade in, and then he's put Spell Echo in, and then we sit here and spam. So I don't know if this is intended behavior. Okay? And you might think like, oh, are they just despawning? So let's go to Blood Aqueducts. I really need a Quicksilver, but whatever, it doesn't matter. And I'll show you an example of this behavior. Now, it's possible that this is working as intended, and that what was happening before this patch is the aberrant behavior. But if we look here, I have monster health bars turned on, by the way. Right? I got stunned, so one of them hit. But if you watch, the initial ones aren't hitting until I stop casting. You know, I could have used a tankier character. I think that showcases it well enough. I don't know that it needs to be more whatever clear than that. And that's basically it. I thought that Firestorm was like Sunder in that if you link Sunder to multi-strike and you spam out your Sunders, you're always going to be getting that first hit or the first one or two hits, because that's how it has worked in the past. What happened was is it despawned subsequent storms that stormed afterwards. And I have a memory of it saying that you always got like one or two hits of the little meteors after, regardless of how fast you were spamming. But that it's entirely possible that that's just me making things up. Anyway, that's the gist of the behavior. If you spam, they never land. Um, and this character does not have a lot of cast speed. So if you're thinking like, oh, I want to play Firestorm cast on crit, um, anything above like 3 meteors at whatever the fall speed is, they're gonna start despawning your hits, which personally I think breaks the skill in terms of what's functional in Path of Exile. First off, you can't scale Firestorm with cast speed anymore. Um, I digress. There's a lot of problems with it, but I just wanted to show the actual aberrant behavior so that people would see what I was actually talking about. Anyway, yeah, thanks.